Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello, howdy. Glad to see you. My name is Edosani Kayan of Dasopang, class English Education K1, and the student ID is 0020500066. So, in this opportunity, I will present my presentation by making some oral presentation. Oral presentation is take some journal researchers about some school to Apple in English learning. So let's begin. These researchers was conducted to investigate whether the use of a hand puppet show media enhance the student speaking skill and motivation in the learning at the second year student of a SMPN1 Kremane in the North Aceh. The experimental group was class 2 and the class 3 junior high school as the control groups. The method used in the research was descriptive, quantitative in nature. The data were analyzed by using SPSS 17 to find t-test score between the two groups. It means that H is accepted and HO is rejected. So, according to KTSP, school besides curriculum of English for SMP or high school junior at the second year students, actually in the third of a standard of a competency, the students are expected to be able to express the meaning intersectional and interpersonal, short, simple verbal conversation to interact with their surrounding. Dipkinas 2006. Such problem appear because of several reasons: own idea orally and the practice to speak. The lower the chance to be successful in learning English, especially in speaking, will be. Additionally, in fact, the use of interactive and creative media in the school is still very low. Here, the teachers usually use some printed medias without making the student more creative, interactive and touching various sense. The use of a puppet show in the teaching speaking is considered as an alternative media. Media that can increase the student's speaking ability and the motivation. So about literature this review, Christine and Burns 2012 in the page 15, the importance of speaking in the language classroom is not just as a communication skill, but also as a means of fluctuating the questions of the target language and the learning of academic content. Christine and Burn 2012 page 19. Instead, ideally, in the activities of a teaching learning process, the teacher should provide a chance to give input and feedback for the student and also encourage each student to drill to produce well-formed utterance. Then hand puppet as a colorful and a funny thing can help them to understand the material of study in class easily. This is taken by in the page 42 to 45. So, the advantage of using puppets as a media in teaching speaking are as follows. The students are being able to speak without feeling shy or insecure, to add variety through learning situation, to change the pace of a lesson and mention motivation, to increase student communication and decrease the teacher's domination of the classroom, and to encourage students, participants, and also remove the inhibition of those who feel intimidated by a formal classroom situation. And lastly, they can focus to describe about puppet similarities and the difference if the topic about descriptive text. When a student chooses and plays a woman puppet, her sound and gesture must be suitable with the puppet. Okay. Now we go into about research methodology. The method that was applied in this research was descriptive quantitative in the nature because the researcher presented the data by using statistics analysis. Meanwhile, in the case, the researchers chose and focused on the quasi-experimental design named pre-test, post-test, post-test, non-quantity group designs. The experimental group received the treatment of applying puppet show media in the teaching speaking skill for the students. The population of the research is the second year student of SMPTN 1 Karangmane, Aceh Utara, with constituted of 9 class, and there were 2003 students in the academic years 2016 to 2017. The test was adopted from English book for second grade students of a junior high school and also from the internet source. The evaluating student speaking performance. There are several components that should be emphasized, such as pronunciation, vocabulary, grammar, comprehension, fluency, as a maintained in speaking ability rating scale by Harris 1969 to analyze the data collected from pre-test and post-test technical products and surface solution SPSS for version 70 was used. So the result and about the discussion is the result from the statistical measuring of the text showed the students' speaking score of the experimental group were better after the use of a puppet show media in teaching speaking than those of the control group which did not teach by using puppet show media. Alternative hypothesis HHA was a conjugate acceptance if T flew or to T table, while the statistical result for experimental group and the control group was to test show the mean score of experimental group is 94.17, which is a higher control group as 59.25 in that. And similarly, the research focus and the measure 3 aspects in the student speaking performance in order to see that student had a good improvement in speaking well. The researcher intended to ensure the students' mastery on pronunciation, vocabulary, and the grammar. The finding indicate the media motivate the student positively. The made them have to go interactive because one of the advantage of using puppets in the teaching speaking is to give the opportunity for young learner to use the target language or out of the textbook contents. So the conclusion and suggestion after the researchers did the experimental, that is implementing hand puppet show media in the teaching speaking skill to the students at a level 2 high school junior 1 Karangmane, it was found that there is a significant difference over the students' achievement in speaking skill between the students who were that speaking skill by using puppet show media and those who are not in the term of the student speaking performance. In other words, applying the hand puppet show as a learning media in the teaching speaking skill could enhance the students' speaking skill. Furthermore, by applying hand puppet show as a learning media in the teaching speaking skill at the second year students at the level 30 high school junior 1 Karangmane, that students show positive response and they are interested in this media. Defending that questionnaire significant the use of a hand puppet show media in the teaching learning process enhances that student motivation in the learning speaking skill with the percentage of the questionnaire was 82.3%, and it was it was considered strong. It means the student have strong motivation toward the use of a hand puppet show as learning media in the teaching speaking because the media created fun, enjoyable, attractive, and good atmosphere. So I think that's all. Thank you for watching and see you. Goodbye.